guys. I guess you could say this would be a double Shabbos. It's a Friday and it will be the new moon day, and just want to talk to you a little bit about the barley. I'm getting lots of requests this time of year for more information. Some of the requests are for information about the barley as it relates to the new moon tonight. I don't report on that. Just to let you know that if you're asking for that information, that's not something I report on. I'll tell you why. It's not because I'm a snob. I did post the two calendars, whether you believe in a 15th day Passover or 14th Passover. I did post those two calendars, so it's not because I'm a snob. It's because I've watched the barley inspection world, and when you try to report for the purposes of many criteria to fit the needs of many people, it can be a bit confusing, and new people come in and they really don't know where to start. They really don't know what you're saying. They really, don't know that you're reporting about more than one belief. And so I watched that confusion for a couple of years, and I decided that I would stay clear of that. So when I report according to what I believe, according to the scripture and according to the land, to the best of my ability, according to who Yeshua is in the feasts, what I believe the calendar reflects. And I don't believe in my understanding of the scripture that a wave sheaf was needed before unleavened. Before wave sheaf, because wave sheaf in the week of unleavened is when the first fruits is presented. Now, you want to say, well, what about the barley, and what if it gets too dry? Well, the scripture says very plainly that the men were to put their first fruits offering in a basket and present it at the temple and make the confession about how they were a starving Armenian their father was, and almost ready to perish. So that whole thing. So first of all, isn't that a beautiful sunset? I hope you're enjoying that sunset. So first of all, we don't have to worry about those things. If the men were to put their omer in a basket, whether it was still on the plant or whether they had gone ahead and winnowed those seeds off the plant, they had a way to get it to Jerusalem without losing the harvest. So I personally, because Yeshua was the first fruits among the dead, and we see that he was Passover, I believe, for him was 3 days. Yes, 3 days ahead of wave sheaf. It had to fit that image perfectly of the law. So he was cut off from among the living as the first fruits of among men, as the firstborn from the dead. He was cut off from the living. Isaiah 53 says, 3 days in front of wave sheaf when he rose. So if he's that shadow type that we're basing the year on, that earliest omer in a field, which represents a world, Yeshua said the field represents a world, and also that the types of soil we have in the field is represented in this parable of the sower, the 4 types, the path where the birds ate it up, the thistles where the cares of life squeeze the truth out, those 4 types of soil. And he finally says, and the seed that was planted in good soil, brought forth 40, 60, 100? So if the field also was made up of the hearts of man, there was only one heart, the second Adam, the sinless Son of God, that could restore us to the Father. So I'm reporting based on what I have believed and I have studied. I don't report on a full field of barley unless there just happens to be one full field of barley that's harvest ready. I am literally looking for a field with the earliest first fruits offering in all the land of Israel. Now, why am I saying that? Because I've had all of these requests and really basically demands that I should provide more proof now. We're waiting for another report. All this stress from people. I feel your stress, okay? I feel it. I feel it. I know you want to know. I know you feel like you got to make these plans, maybe get time off, whatever it is. I feel it. But I also know how the land responds to the weather that we've had. I also know that the barley, according to this weather, is going to take a little bit more time to mature. We're not having 80-degree temperatures every day. We've had a few, but then we had a rain yesterday and it cooled off. But we still have, if we start the count tonight, we still have a little over 2 weeks before that wave sheaf is really needed, or before I need that wave sheaf, according to what I believe. So if you need that earlier, then you do need to locate someone who provides that information. And I'm not against you, but I'm not going to provide it because I don't want to confuse the group. I want the people that come in the group to know exactly the way I see what is needed. And then as you learn things, if you want to adjust what I'm doing to fit your needs as you begin to understand the barley and you begin to understand the seasons in Israel, and you can look at it and you say, okay, so then if the barley's not going to be ready until the third day after the new moon, and we're going to get the new moon, and I want the barley at the new moon, you could adjust it accordingly. So, but just be patient. I'm not going to duck out. We will absolutely get additional reports in the coming days. I'm watching the temperature. I'm watching the land every day. That's not stopped. But I don't also want to do a bunch of busy work and not bring you new information. So let's trust the process. Let's trust the Creator. Everything is progressing as it should. There's still 2 weeks. And we will bring you the reports, and you'll see, I may go do a little investigating on Monday in a new location. But if I do, I'll report it immediately. That's the other thing. People are saying, when are you going to go report on the barley, or were there any new reports? I don't withhold reports. That's not what I'm about. If I go and look at something, I give a report. By the end of the day, before I go to bed, I'm going to post that up. So exhale, the Sabbath is coming. Get with the Father, recharge for the week. Pray for the process here. If you want to be supportive, if you're worried, pray and ask the Father. Maybe He'll give you some reassurance or some personal insight that you need. But I promise we are going to do some more inspecting. There's still 2 weeks before I need to see the barley. That's where we are. And I thought I'd bring you out here as I'm waiting for the sun to set and waiting for the new moon to show up. That'll bring us into what I believe with the new year is the new year. Then I thought I'd bring you out here and just visit with you while I waited for it. And you know what the worst case scenario is? The worst case scenario is that if the barley doesn't happen in your timing and you have believed that this is the new year, you're not starting late. You got a head start. That's the worst case scenario. If you're looking for something different than I'm looking for, and it doesn't happen in that timing, you're ahead of the game. So just relax. Just try to embrace the process and let the Father develop the land. I'm telling you, I expect to see the flax in the Galilee the next week. It is so loaded with blooms. They just need a little time to pop out. And I believe it's going to happen. So that's what I wanted to do. And let's just sit here and watch the sunset. I'll tell you when the top of the orb is out of my sight. I know it's hard to tell on the camera. Let's see if I can pull it up. I can. And I see just a sliver. And it's gone. That's it. Now the sky is going to get beautiful in color. I'll let it run for a minute and then I'm going to have to shut the live down because I've got to get the camera ready to rock and roll for a new moon photo. And I think we're going to get it tonight. Look at that. Just one big cloud. The moon will come down diagonally on the beside, but on the same path that the sun sets. So it'll come a little to the left in the same diagonal trajectory that the sun has set. Okay, lovely family of y'all, I'm going to shut this thing off and get my camera set up. Shabbat Shalom, and I'll be back in a few with a photo, hopefully. Hi guys, right there's the new moon. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the sky or not. I don't know, let me see. I'm going to try. Let's see if I can get it. It may be too low lit. No, I'm going to have to wait for it to pick up some more light. It's out there someplace. The camera's not going to get it. I can see it with my eye, but I cannot pull it in with the camera yet. I have it right here, but I can't get it with my cell phone. I'll come back as it gains some more. Let me get away from my cell phone. Maybe my camera, maybe that's making the issue here. Okay, here we go. Sorry. No, I've lost it. Where'd it go? There it is. There's that cloud. I'm going to pull it over this way. Pull it up that way. There it is. Now you can see it. It's just picked up enough light. I can barely get it on the cell phone live stream. 1734. There's your new moon.